Somewhere over the rainbow. Over the rainbow.
The reason we do this show and set up the lights and I hold this globe is to shine a light on special people. People who every day get up and go to work, but also have higher dreams and have streaming words and visions and projects that they bring out into the world powerfully. There is a woman who had a very special birthday today at Nevada County, where I'm a public health nurse, and I wasn't able to go to her birthday, but I wanted to honor Judith Prosser, who has led circles of women for their empowerment and to not be afraid to speak their voice and to gain the support and love of other women as we are increasingly stepping out powerfully with the platform of the feminine. Goodness, kindness, inclusiveness. So Judith, I wore this necklace today for you, and it says, "The power of circle is within us." I bless you on your birthday and gather the women worldwide. Thanks you for the part that you have played in our beautiful local town, Nevada City. Thank you, Judith. And welcome back to the Just Jan Show. We are here highlighting amazing women and men who are bringing principles, heartfelt principles that are helping us live lives more full of vitality and truth and authenticity. Today's guest not only looks like a goddess, but her name is Garden Goddess. She is very well known in our area. Over 1,200 people are in her circle. Her name is Susan Govea. Let me tell you a little bit more about Susan. She is on a mission to share with the community about sustainable gardening and cooking methods. In 2010, she started the local group, the Society of Garden Goddesses, now over 1,200 men and women. We share tips, recipes, and lots of laughs. She wanted to take the seriousness and the chore out of gardening and cooking and get people excited about experimenting with food grown in their own gardens. She has been creating her own recipes and teaching adults and children for 35 years. She has studied with chefs and farmers in Brazil, Mexico, Spain, Italy, Peru, and France. She has certifications in community building, master gardener in permaculture design consultant. Current projects include farm tours and tastings, gardening and cooking retreats, and podcast Garden Goddess Power Hour. Now, how did I meet her? At a local women's event where there was this gorgeous little brilliant green dish, and someone said, Jan, that's made out of weeds. And I said, what? We can eat weeds? And they said, you haven't met Susan yet. So let me bring out onto the Just Jan show, Susan Govea. Please welcome. Hello, Susan.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, just wonderful to have you here. I get to have you myself for a few minutes. I know how busy you are. And I got to enjoy your video, which gave an overview about the things that you are doing and you are involved in. And she knows the macroculture to the microculture of this whole field. But what I like to do, because people watching this show say, oh look, she's beautiful, she's smart, she does all these things. I like to tell people a little bit about your whole life and mix in. I'm sure there was some challenges or confusion or maybe money issues, not that we want any negativity, but just fill out the picture and what brought you to this path of, I believe food is medicine and a new way of living.
Well, it was shortly after I had my son that I felt really isolated, and I didn't really have a strong community or support system around me. And so during that time, I'm like, I want to put together a group of women that don't gossip, that love to garden, that love to cook, and like to inspire each other to, go to a whole new level. Mm-hmm. And so I had that vision, and it's been just the most...
And that thread goes through everything you do, because I understand vibration. And whenever I see your posts, there is light there. Oh. And I feel that people are coming to drink of, to grow, and to have more light in their lives. So your initial intention was, I'm feeling a little isolated. I have a son, and you did something about it.
I sure did.
Yes. So what year was that?
Oh, 2010. That's when I started to grow.
So you've been doing this work for 7 years.
Uh-huh.
And were you a good cook before then, I imagine?
Yeah, it's my passion.
Okay.
And one of the decisions I made was to go back to what I loved doing at the age of 9, and that was cooking and showing people about weeds.
Oh,
And
I love this.
I have not had the confidence to go in that direction, because I'm thinking, there's no pay in it. But I've figured out a way to finance my weed...
your passion.
What do you call it? Weed passion. Yeah.
Adoration.
So
they say that when you're young, between 8 and 12, what you dream of being is truly your core.
Oh.
So when you were a little girl, I used to take those little things that had spikes out in the playground and open them up and find the little beans inside. Did you do that sort of thing?
Yes.
Did you eat weeds?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, and I was, I was the weird one. So people either loved me or they just stayed really far away from
The
me.
nature girl.
Yeah.
The one with the green tongue.
Too hippy-dippy, yeah.
So were your parents open to that exploration? Were they pretty natural and outdoorsy themselves?
Yeah, my parents were awesome. They were like the first, composters before it was chic, and they were into harvesting water from the roof of the house and gardening organically with no sprays. And they exposed me to so much. They let me start a kids camp at the age of 10 in our yard. So I taught gardening and cooking in that, and my parents were just great. They let me really experiment. There was no, we didn't get to watch TV, so we had to.
Beautiful. It sounds very Waldorf, but en natural through your parents, that stream.
Yeah.
So then did you ever have a corporate job or kind of go off your path a little bit?
I did. I wanted to be accepted by society, so I
listen to that. We always want to be accepted. We go off our path till we get gray and contracted.
So I went to the University of Berkeley and got my degree and was all set for the corporate job.
And the degree was in?
International business.
Oh,
with a-
yes, that's
with
really
a
has to do with
minor
weeds.
in Spanish. So yeah, I was all stoked for the cubicle, and I went and interviewed for some jobs, and I said, you know, I can't work for anyone else. So
Yes.
I started 3 different corporations in my lifetime.
So those are puzzle pieces, because the Garden Goddess is a corporation.
But it's just a group.
Well, it's an infrastructure, it's a foundation that now you're earning money from and working it. So have you ever thought, if you hadn't done the business thing, how that would have changed how you're doing your life now?
Right,
It does
yeah,
give
that
you
it set me
a
up
little
to-
masculine interior infrastructure. And I
It
don't
sure
mean
did.
men or women, I mean the financial parts, the base, the structure. Because I've seen on the video, you have gorgeous gardens, you have a kitchen, and to me it's a perfect balance of you are a doer, a creator, and you have formed all these things and brought other people in. And that's a business mind. That's good.
That's what I do 24/7.
Yes, yes.
So it's fun. Yeah.
So, then what made you leave the corporate world?
I got really stressed and sick and had a nervous breakdown and plowed through 2 marriages.
Yes.
And it just wasn't working. I'm really good at growing businesses, and they were
Yes.
very successful. And I just said no more. And so I just went back to my passion during that time. And
You know, I don't have any of that in this, but everyone that sits at this table, it's the same script.
sure is.
They got sick, and you know, you would have even got sicker, and maybe even would have left us.
Yep.
So at what point did you say, I have to change this story here? After the second marriage collapse?
Right, and
You have a child.
then I was in 2 car accidents in 1 month. And
On top of it.
totally should have been gone. So
Yeah.
during my car accident, I experienced divine intervention.
That's
And-
the other thing that goes with these kitchen
Yeah,
table
and
talks.
you know, these little voices just said, you know what, you're not done.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to do. You're going to not work. You're going to dedicate yourself to the community full time. And you're going to go and talk about weeds, and you're going to be an advocate for plants.
Wow.
And I'm like, where the hell did that come from? You know, and so I'm like, okay.
Or
Right.
it's like Spirit says, you're going to do what you're told.
Mm-hmm.
I had melanoma, and in that day of a diagnosis, I said, I will do whatever I was born to do and nothing else, so help me God. And I made it through.
Oh.
And you had 2 car accidents, and I believe that Spirit will push us to the edge. And now you're doing what you're born to do.
It's so
and you're
easy now.
radiant. And everyone, this is what I say, Susan, this was always your note. You knew when you were little, you had to go around the block. But this is your note of sustainable new paradigm, food, eating, vitality. This is my note. These are other guest show. And so Spirit will just crucify us until we get it. And now there you are. You're
Well,
holding
2x4.
your note. I mean, you're the go-to person. My partner said, I showed him the video. I said, we're having this guest on the show. And he said, maybe she can come and help us for our 2.5 acres. See,
I'd
we
love
have the
to.
sun, we have bears, we have deer, but you can figure all those things out. So
Yes, you
I'm
can.
glad that I met you, and I'm glad that you're here. Now, those that watch the show a lot, I say, there's a reason we're here. There's a reason we have this wonderful community radio station, and that you're here, I'm here interviewing you, is that we are broadcasting out the most pristine, new, purified ways to do things. Edgar Casey said, the first city of light to emerge from the planet would be Nevada City, California. How does that feel when I say that?
Feels great.
Yeah, feels like we're in the right place. And we're taking our notes, and there are so many people here that actually come through this door at the Buddha Gallery 1 a day to feel that they are brought here. So I know you have lots of wonderful tasting things, and we're going to share about those, and we're also going to learn a little bit more about Susan's project. Right now we're going to just take a quick break, and again, for our guest today, Susan Govea, the Garden Goddess. Thank you. watching the Just Jan show. And we have an amazing, beautiful visitor today who I'm so pleased to have on the set. Her name is Susan Govea. She is the garden goddess of Nevada County, and she has meetups and teaches things. And what I'm finding so touching is the way she does it, with a realness and a warmth that is just phenomenal and really speaks to me of the new way of being a teacher and a leader. So in this section, I am inviting her to share her beautiful food, how she prepares things, her property, her projects, and just please share with us.
Well, one thing I love to do is play in the kitchen and my garden. And on a daily basis, I'm creating new recipes and sharing them with my friends. So lately I have been going around talking to different organizations about not using sprays and pesticides and instead really honoring the weeds and dandelion. And so this month I'm honoring the dandelion, and I wanted to share with you some, well, first of all, the dandelion is this incredible plant that has a taproot that goes and mines for minerals and vitamins for the other plants. So the plants communicate with the dandelion and they say, we need magnesium, we need calcium. So that's the dandelion's plant or purpose. So it brings, the taproot brings the vitamins up to the leaves, then the leaves decompose and give those nutrients to the other plants. So that's just one of the fabulous things that dandelions do. The other part is you can eat all parts of the dandelion plant.
That little yellow flower part?
Yes.
Oh, I was always so afraid I was going to get a tummy ache.
I can't believe the chemical companies have trained us to kill that plant, and it is so amazing.
It is so pretty too.
It sure is. I mean,
Yeah.
it supports people going through cancer and
Oh.
all
Have
kinds
you
of
ever
goodies.
made dandelion wine? Remember Ray
I-
Bradbury's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just made some dandelion wine, and with the pulp from the tea, I incorporated it into. Well, let's do this one first, since you
my
asked.
goodness,
Into
you're an
these
alchemist.
crackers. So these little crackers have flaxseed, sunflower seeds, dandelion flowers, and then spices and herbs. And then this is a dandelion pesto made with the dandelion greens.
Oh my goodness. So, do you call these raw foods then? Is
Let's
this like
see.
made
This
in a
would-
dehydrator?
Yes.
Okay, yummy.
Dehydrator, and yes, that
Can I
would be
buy it?
raw. You sure can. This is made with the sprouted sunflower seeds to give it some additional value.
So I'm eating dandelions. Is there any garlic or anything?
There's garlic greens, so it's not as potent.
Oh my. Aren't they good? Oh, that's really
And
delicious.
this is my invention.
And it
today.
has so many different flavors in it. So you just made that up?
Yeah.
I mean, just put the flavor. Is there
just
a little
like-
lemon in there? No?
Yeah, there's a little
A
lemon.
little bit of lemon, yeah.
But when you make the dandelion wine, the
goodness.
recipes tell you to throw out the pulp. And I tasted the pulp and I'm like, oh my gosh, this tastes so amazing. I want this plant medicine in me. So I incorporated it into the crackers. These are dandelion flour, rosemary, gluten-free chocolate chip cookies. So they've got that added.
What?
Yeah.
So she actually has greens, healthy greens in your cookies. I don't see them. And these are good for moms to give to kids.
It sure is. My son, he says, don't give me anything gluten-free. And I'm like, don't worry. So I
Oatmeal?
sneak those in.
Is that like a little oatmeal in there?
Almond flour.
Oh my God. I'm gonna eat this too.
I spoke down in Sacramento yesterday.
It's healthy and good.
Oh, good. The crowd down there wasn't quite ready for a weed cuisine. Half of it, about 50%, were open to it. So I'm introducing that.
Fabulous.
This is a pesto, or dandelion pesto pizza with the greens in the sauce as well, both sauces. And this crust is made of quinoa, sprouted quinoa. And it is so
You could get famous
yummy.
cooking that. You know, Three Forks sold that. Can you imagine how busy they would be?
Oh.
And did you make up that little shape too?
Yeah, it's a heart.
Oh my God.
So you always want to make your food with love, and if you can make it into a heart, it really changes the vibration of it, I think.
That is fabulous. I'm going to have a ride of that later because I'm going to take actual picture of it. It's
Oh,
so
good.
perfect. So, do you teach cooking classes at your home? I did see some pictures in the video of this fabulous kitchen. Everything is so visually Martha Stewart, but better. That's your kitchen?
Well, it is. I mean, one silly thing I did, I took the plunge and sold my retirement and plugged it into my house to make it a place where people can enjoy and learn. So
I think that's a beautiful
that was a good decision,
idea.
but it's a lot of fun.
I did
So.
the same thing. My retirement into learning about what I love to do.
Nice.
So we can live today. Yes,
Yeah.
it's an investment, not just into yourself, but the community as well. So then we have to trust that the resources come back in. So I saw that you have cooking classes for men and women.
I do.
And tell people about those.
So I've started doing cooking classes, and now I've taken it even farther, and I'm doing cooking classes online through a video conferencing service, and that was so fun. I
Wonderful.
just gave my first 2, and I had so much support, and we had such a good time on camera in everybody's kitchen, and
Nice.
people have been asking me to do it forever, and I just haven't had the confidence that like I could teach a cooking class, but people are just going nuts. over,
When you have a passion and people, they don't want a finished product. I mean, we're talking about the big networks. People want real people now. that you have a message that you want to share with the world, but you feel like your voice is not being heard, we are here to help. We are SOAR with Sacred Circles, TV shows, radio shows, and workshops. We have created a special place for you to connect and find your voice in empowered community. Connect with us at soundandlighthealingarts.com.